What is going on in the Oregon housing market in 2023? What are some predictions of what could happen? That's what we're talking about today. We have some information from an article that I wanted to share with you guys from Keeping Current Matters. So we're just going to go over this and talk about what we're seeing. And if you're watching this video and you are thinking about buying or selling real estate in Salem, Oregon, or anywhere in the surrounding areas, we get calls, texts, and emails from people like you who are watching our videos and are relocating to our area all the time, or who are just buying and selling here, and we absolutely love it. So if that's you, feel free to reach out. We would love to set up a call and see how we can help. Okay, so jumping right in here.
Where'd you find these articles?
Keeping Current Matters. Is what
do you like subscribe to their channel or
no? They just have a lot of really great. It's a blog it's a website. They have a lot of really great real estate information to keep it up to date. But the head of our company actually sent this out to us, so they sent it to us, but it was from Keeping Current Matters. So,
perfect.
Yes. Okay, what to expect from the housing market in 2023. The 2022 housing market has been defined by two key things: inflation and rapidly rising mortgage rates. Some buyers and sellers put their plans on hold and decided to wait until the market felt a bit more predictable. We've definitely been seeing that. Moving forward, experts agree it's still going to be all about inflation. If inflation is high, mortgage rates will be as high as well. But if inflation continues to fall, mortgage rates will likely respond. Home prices will always be defined by supply and demand. That means nationally, we will likely see relatively flat or neutral appreciation in 2023. As Lawrence Yun, chief economist at National Association of Realtors, says, after a big boom over the past 2 years, there will essentially be no change nationally. Half of the country may experience small price gains, while the other half might see slight price declines. The 2023 housing market is going to be defined by mortgage rates, and rates will be determined by what happens with inflation. Ooh. Rates heading higher to end 2022, but 2023 is still a blank canvas. Soaring prices were propelled by all-time low mortgage rates, which are a thing of the past. As a result, home price growth is expected to continue slowing, dipping below its pre-pandemic average to 5.4% in 2023 as a whole. So what that just said was this prediction is for, this is national, by the way, but this is a prediction for a national average home price appreciation of 5.4%. So that would be a dip from before because we've been seeing much higher inflation. Yeah. So homes are still predicted to be going up, but much, much, much lower than before. That's a drastic difference. Also, then we see other predictions that say that things will be very stagnant, or there might just be, nothing. It's just stagnant as far as appreciation goes.
Okay, so I think this is like winding back to what I was even saying in like 2020, 2019 is like this is our new normal.
Yeah.
Due to inflation, nobody really could have predicted inflation working out the way it has with sales prices, but the food industries, the supply chains, cars, our automotive get a new part with your car. Tell me how that goes. Yeah. Sometimes you're on back order for weeks, months, and then your car's sitting and you can't drive it. And everything is just so astronomically high. It's pretty unbelievable, but it's been the same in real estate. What's been unique to me is when I see like a new home. So a new constructed home, customly built, has all the bells and whistles. The seller sells it within like 2 years or even a year and buys another new constructed home in that same neighborhood. That's been like one of the weirdest, strangest things that I could like remember even seeing in real estate.
Yeah.
Because we all know new homes, yes, they do appreciate, but usually it takes time. You can't just buy something new and then the next year after, it just sells for 100, 150 grand more that makes it allowable to sell.
without doing anything.
anything. So
seriously,
that
has
been one of the stranger things in this market on top of probably 5-6 other things. But that's a really good prediction, I believe. And it comes back to the saying, what comes up must come down. Well, how far down it's going to go, I'm not sure. I don't see it going tremendously farther down. It is going to become our new normal. That is where I'm staying, and I'm going to stick to it. The interest rates are going to be huge.
Interest rates will affect things, supply and demand. I've said this before, but that's a huge factor that is going to come into play. Is are more homes going to come onto the market? That will definitely affect things, but we're still extremely low on inventory, which makes it really difficult to see prices just plummeting because of that, but which could change, but I don't know. And are people still buying and selling right now in Oregon? You know, what are we seeing right now? A couple clients I'm working with right now, a couple different families I'm working with, just to give example, are people who are currently renting and they're looking for a place to purchase for their family. And I'm very excited for them. It's a great time for them to buy because they're not buying in yesterday's market where we had to just be so competitive to get something under contract. They're buying in a market where there is a room for, asking the seller to do repairs and the seller potentially saying yes to a good handful of them. There actually is room for that. And it's a lot more comfortable buying. They have time to send me a house and sleep on it for a few days, or have time to take a few days to see it if they're not able to right away, because yesterday's market, it wasn't like that. When it was competitive and interest rates were historically low, if a house came up, you didn't have time to sleep or blink. You had to just go jump on it, and it already had 10 offers anyway. So there are, like I always say, there's pros and cons to buying in any market. It's a good time to buy if it's a good time for you. I only see rent going up in our area especially. And what I think really matters is, can you afford that monthly payment? Let's talk to a lender and see if you can get a mortgage. What price range and down payment and all of that would it take to get you into a mortgage that is the same or lower than your rent? And then let's make that happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And another thing that I have been seeing, though, when it comes to purchasing power, say you're an independent contractor, an entrepreneur, you're not currently employed, meaning on a W-2, you're self-employed, usually through a 1099. Lending restrictions have lifted a little bit, and I see some really cool stuff saying, you don't have to have that 2 years of full employment on the tax record history. We can go off of bank statements as your reported income and divide that and multiply that. That's been pretty cool. So your purchasing power, lending institutions have really been trying to be more creative, safe. They want to be safe, so we're not heading into bankruptcies, foreclosures, that type of thing. Yeah. But they really are trying to... work with the consumers. And because I think they understand financially the banking system. I mean, if there's one tip, there's some real trouble happening. So you as the buyer, you control the market. Remember that. And just like Mariah said, it's a really cool time to negotiate. It's an awesome time to be a broker and have representation, you guys, and get you the best house for the best price with the best repair rate. So meaning you do an inspection, what's going to be repaired? Like Mariah was saying, just a year and a half ago, those repairs were kind of like unheard of to even ask or get a repair done. Now we're seeing closing costs being paid for, multiple repairs being made, and that's only benefiting you guys as the consumer. So that's been something exciting, and I think I truly do believe that will be happening through the year of 2023. I do not see that changing. In fact, it's only going to get better. The only possibility it gets worse is if supplies does go up. So meaning there's more listings on the market, depending on your area. What I can tell you is, for instance, my neighborhood I live in, very few listings happen. And once they are listed, it takes about a month for them to at least get under contract, 2 months to close. Yeah. If they're not getting under contract or close, that just means that seller has way too high of a price.
Yes. All righty. Well, thank you for listening. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. We come on here all the time talking about our area and real estate and everything you want to know if you're moving here. And if you are someone who is thinking about relocating to our area or just buying or selling here, reach out. We would love to help. Our contact information is below.